Remember, the key to success is working hard. For our country, we must have regard. Forget all your differences, let we start to build. And onward to progress we surely will. Because now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation. I say that is the main foundation. So come let us work hand in hand, because this is our land. Come my brother, come my sister, and let us build a nation together.
Come, my brother, come, my sister, and let us build a nation together. Grenada belongs to all of us. Yes, you might still be here in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique doing your do, but we have brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, mothers, fathers who traveled for greener pastures, meaning they travel to make life better for you and you and you. They too have a stake in this place we call home. So let us work together to build this place, to make it way better than we met it. And I think now, more than ever before, we would have a greater appreciation for what I have been saying over the many, many months. This is our homeland, and we have a duty to make it better for our children and children's children. There are people among us who want to see Grenada on its knees. But we should never aid and abet even that thought or those individuals. We should never be pushing that. We should never encourage that. We should try our utmost to be positive and focused. We want good for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. So I want to welcome you. And I want to encourage those on Facebook and YouTube to please share the live. Sharing is caring. I want to start off by saying Americans, the world, they are looking on, and many people, either they followed the election results last night, or they woke this morning to the news that Donald Trump won again. I never woke up myself about the American elections because I really don't understand it. And I don't understand the needs and so on of the people there. So they know what they need and they know what they want to see. So I never fixated myself on it. In fact, last night I went and I just slept. I never even followed the results and all the pundits and what people were actually saying. I just don't want to hear. In fact, months and months and months and months ago, I decided this thing is toxic for my mental health, and I just tune out. I don't want to hear, and I avoid everything where that is concerned because I'm not living in the moment. I'm not in the United States. I do not work there. Who feels it knows it. And I think that is the statement I have to make. Who feels it knows it. There are people who will say when Donald Trump was there, they had money in their pockets. when Donald Trump was there, they got more opportunities and so on. There are people like that. And America still is still a white man's place. All right. Some people may want to ignore that. America is still a white man's place. Something that you need to appreciate also is the fact that the pollsters, nearly all of them were wrong. Nearly all of the pollsters were wrong. All right? Nearly all the pollsters. And I think maybe 100% of them. So we can learn. We can learn from that. We have only recently a pollster who came publicly. I didn't hear about that pollster during the election time in Grenada. After the election, the pollster came and said, well, he predicted this and predicted that, and at the NDC go win. And, okay, all right. And now the pollster put out something. I saw it on uh, the New Today newspaper, and I laughed. I laughed because I know for a fact that this thing is a joke. This is a joke. All these posters, they come around to to ride. And I know what I mean. All right. So again, saying to you, the American election should teach you something. All these pollsters, many of them, they cannot even analyze their breakfast, much less their lunch or their dinner. But they're out there making people believe X, Y, and Z. So the pollsters were wrong. And what you must know, you cannot be too politically correct. Sometimes people just want something, with a little drama, a little vibes, a little different. They want somebody who can say it as is sometimes. And sometimes people don't even know what they want. All right? There are times when people just don't know what they want. And some again, they know what they want. So again, I'm saying you could learn. And a president come, a president go, the system would remain the same. The system. That is what you have to work on. The system. If you change the system, then things going to change. But somebody occupying the White House would not change plenty things. But now, the Republicans, they seem to have the House, the Senate, and the presidency. All right? So they control two arms of governance. All right? So the and also you can safely say the judiciary. All right? The judiciary, because the Supreme Court, they control that too. So I'm saying, boy, it's what it is. All right? It's what it is. And a lot of people will focus on the election in America. They'll focus on the election in America because we have a lot of family and friends who live in America, in the United States of America. So somewhere or the other, we would be connected there. And what we consume is Western media. What we consume, if you look at your television, uh, well, I don't have a television with cable and that kind of thing. All right. But if you follow the news, what we consume in Grenada and in the Western part is really news from the United States of America, the Western media. That is what we get. All right. And nearly all those stations and so on, they are pretty much pro Democrats. All right. You could see it out there. So look, you could be caught up in something that doesn't exist. All right. But we want to congratulate Donald Trump, president elect for the United States of America, and we wish him all the best. And we hope that all our Grenadian brothers and sisters out there can continue working hard, making the money, and taking care of themselves, their family, and also Remember, Grenada is your home. All right? Grenada is your home. So invest in Grenada, build in Grenada. So even if you're in the United States of America, still invest in Grenada. All right? Build in Grenada, buy in Grenada, expand in Grenada. This is your home. And I never forget when I was in the United Kingdom, there was a Grenadian gentleman and his wife who said to me when they went to the United Kingdom, yes, they went for opportunity, but they never forget where they came from and the reason why they went to the United Kingdom. And they continue to build and to expand their home and to buy lands and to invest here in Grenada so they can actually come back home and relax. They can visit from time to time because this is their home. So, yes, you might be out there for greener pastures, for opportunities and so on, which is great. But don't forget that Grenada is your home. And that is why you need to have a vested interest in making sure that this place remains safe, that this place remains peaceful, that this place continues to transform for all of us to benefit. And that is why you need to support the NDC administration. You need to support the Most Honorable Deacon Mitchell and the team, right? That is important. You need to support the team because this is your home. So when this individual from Carriacou made the statement that where would be next to Bondong and so on and fire and so on, you have to be concerned. In fact, people are becoming more and more concerned. They're becoming more and more concerned because we have not heard from the NNP as yet. The NNP remain very silent. So even though this guy, all right, was at the NNP General Council meeting, all right, even if he was there, we have not heard from them yet.
I go see can go on fire, the playing field on fire. I tell all you, anytime I open my mouth and say something, that will happen. With no start. They just have a real playing field, tongue next, and then Dover next, and then the whole of Carriacou is fire at one and all you. This government, they don't know what they're about. They don't understand.
Right. So that's the guy. So people are now becoming aware of the statement and they are outraged because this guy was at the new National Party General Council meeting. All right. And he was given a hero's welcome at the new National Party General Council meeting.
I did not say nothing.
That's the same guy.
We stand for democracy.
Same guy.
We stand for democracy. When their surrogates was saying all kind of nasty things, they had no problem. We never arrest nobody. We never arrest nobody.
Right. So that's the same guy, the same Emerson, Ziggy, Edmond, same guy. And we have not heard a word from the new National Party regarding what this guy said about Carriacou and where next there will be fire and that kind of stuff. We have not heard a word from them, and that should tell you a lot. So, folks, we have to protect this place. We have to make sure that we enhance it, we better it for our children and children, and even for us. You want to live in a comfortable space. You want to live in a comfortable home. You want to live in a place that's very peaceful, very tranquil, a progressive place where you're always trying to build and enhance and transform. That is what we all want. So I am saying again, it is important, very important, to be on board with the transformation agenda. And I know that there is a renewed sense of patriotism. People want good for Grenada, right? They are happy when the farmers and fishers receive cash payments or cash advances, right? One off, whatever, to get back with their livelihood again, to plant again, to reap again, to survive again in their line of trade or work. People are happy that the pensioners got their pension, right? And their gratuity. People are happy that workers are being regularized. People are happy that a new pension is on the horizon for contract workers, and they too will be regularized. People are happy that students and young people got free tuition so that they can go on to college. People are happy that Project Build Back Better is going good. People are getting homes with modern bathroom and toilet facilities, with electrical work done, with plumbing work done, with the painting done. People are happy about that, right? People are happy that the minimum wage order was introduced and people are getting more every month for their salary. So there's a renewed sense of patriotism in Grenada. And we all must appreciate that. We want good for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. And that is what you must want, good. So we are still waiting for the NNP to publicly condemn what this guy is saying. But they will not. They will not. No. And if you hear them say anything, it's because we have been forcing that on them. But deep down, they're not interested in coming forward and distancing themselves from the individual or, openly condemning what he said. No, they are not interested in that. They are concerned about getting power at any cost, in my belief, at any cost. But we are concerned about building Grenada, about making Grenada better. That is what we want. We want a better Grenada for all of our people. And let us work towards that. Yes, we're coming up against a opposition force in this country. That's all about and everywhere. In other words, the NDC came into power and the NDC did a lot of good things in the last 2 years and a half. But still, the opposition is out there saying all kinds of stuff to make you believe that they did not do X or they did not do Y, and this is bad and that is bad. That is what they're out there doing because they want power. All right? But if you look carefully at what the NDC was able to achieve in the last 2 years and a half for our people, they impacted positively our people. A pensioner, for example, who retired from government, march on the streets for their pension, for their money, the gratuity and pension. They were not getting it under the NNP. Some 8 years they retired, some 7 years, some 6 years, some 5 years. They retired with the hope that they would get their money. Because by law, when you retire, you're supposed to get your gratuity. It's like an advance pension payment, a lump sum. And then you get a certain amount of your pension. And when you reach 72, somewhere thereabout, then you get the full thing. Because by then, the 12 years or so would have been completed for the repayment of the gratuity. All right? So the lump sum is for you to do what you have to do and so on, which is a good formula. So I'm saying these people were waiting for their money, hoping that they would get it. Under the NNP, that did not happen. They did not get their money. No. The NDC came into power and the NDC paid that money, gave them the money. You know what the NNP said? The NNP said, no, you should not give them the money because they would not spend the money and the economy would not get a jolt. The economy would not benefit significantly from the $75.1 million. That is what the NNP said. They were out there saying that these people are going to bank the money, right? The money belongs to the pensioners. They refuse to give them their money. And mind you, there would be people who benefited from that pension payment and gratuity and who would still vote for the oppressor, who would still support the oppressor, the person or party who was oppressing them, who kept them where they were for all these years without paying them the pension and gratuity. They would still go and vote or support that party and the individual. There were teachers, for example, who went on the streets and marched for their pension and their gratuity because the NNP at the time told them, and not only told them, but had the unions sign a MOU saying that they would pay these people their pension and their gratuity. And they refused to do so. When they got in power, they changed, they reneged on their decision. The teachers went out and protested and demonstrated. What happened? The NNP docked their salaries. The NNP went into their salaries. They say you ain't work, you're not getting pay. You were out there demonstrating and protesting for gratuity and pension. You're not getting pay. The NDC came into power and the NDC gave these people, the teachers and public officers, back their money. The money that the NNP administration took from them, gave them back $1.2 million. But do you know, some of these same people who got that money back will still go and vote for that same oppressor and that party who oppressed them, who took their money. They would still support them. I am telling you. Right? Then you had the free tuition policy rolled out by the NDC, where the NDC administration said, we will see a child as a child, a youth as a youth. We are not concerned about their parents' status in society, whether they have a vehicle, whether they have a house, whether they have land, whether they have money. A youth is a youth and a child is a child. So they decided to give all the young people attending TAMCC and NULO free tuition. So once you're going to NULO or you're going to TAMCC, you're getting free tuition. You don't have to find that $800 and something to pay to go. It is free. You know what the NNP turn around and say? The NNP turn around and say, well, you shouldn't give everybody. You should look at who parents could afford and who can't afford. Right? So segregate the group. That is what the NNP turned around and said. But remember, the NNP said the same thing when the NDC rolled out the free textbook program. And they did not just say, when they came into power in 2013, they scaled back the program and they removed the program from the private schools. They removed the program from the private schools, and in the public schools, they scale back the program. But there are still parents who have two youth or children, young people, young persons attending TAMCC or NULO, and they would still go and vote for the oppressor or the party that never gave them that kind of assistance. Yes, there are still people here who will do that. You have the free hot meal program. 13,000 plus students benefit from that program every single day. Do you know what the NNP been saying and doing? They have been condemning the free hot meal program, condemning it, criticizing it. They have all kinds of negative things to say. Right? They have all kind of negative things to say. Look at it, Jay. Go for it, Jay. Right? All kinds of negative things to say about the program instead of the NNP helping to enhance the program, to make it better. Come here. Right? Come here, Zoe. Come. Right? Instead of doing that, they are not interested in making it better, in mobilizing and organizing, right? To make sure that the program, come and say bye. Come and tell the folks bye. You become a co-host now, come. Every morning, you're going in the daycare. All right, say bye.
Bye.
Right, that was nice. Have a good day, yes? And Daddy love you?
Yeah.
Right, good. Nice.
I like that.
What you like? You like the dress?
Yeah.
Yes, you look nice. You look like a princess. All right? Good. Have a nice day. Don't give no trouble in the daycare. Right. Good. Take care. Nice. And close the door for me. So I'm saying, yeah, Zoe has become a part of the program in full swing, full effect. All right? Zeli was a bit shy, quiet. That was Zeli. The people who followed me from the start. All right? So she's off to the daycare. So I'm saying again, with all that assistance, right? The free hot meal program and the impact on the kids and families, the NNP, right, would not do anything to help that program. So for example, they would not take any initiative whatsoever to speak to the farmers close to the school or schools and see if they can give the extra, instead of it wasting, give the extra to the school, the citrus, the ground provision and so on. They would not do that. They would not take such an initiative to mobilize and to help the school feeding program. But what they do is criticize it, condemn it. They have all kinds of bad things to say about it. But that is what they're accustomed to. And that is what they want to see. They want to see the thing fail. All right? Excuse me. The Build Back Better houses. Look at the amount of people who are getting these Build Back Better houses. I could recall when Ivan passed and devastated Grenada, NNP built back some houses, right? And it was called something similar, some Build Back Better initiative. And the houses that they constructed were just like they were before Hurricane Ivan. They never put an indoor bathroom and toilet facility. No, they never did that. They never modernized the thing. They never did wiring, electrical works, plumbing works, painting and so on. No, they never did that. They just built it back how it was and left the people with their pit latrines and everything like that. But this government, they're giving you a house stronger with indoor bathroom and toilet facility. They painting it. They're doing the plumbing. They're doing the electrical work. And they're giving the families those houses. But still, for all, you have people who are going to benefit from those houses, who will not support the government and this party, but though they will benefit because they were affected by Hurricane Beryl and so on, right? There are families who are receiving material assistance, loads of material assistance to repair their homes, to fix their roofs, and so on. And there are some of the same people who will not support this government and party. The CES program, there are a lot of people who benefited from that program, who got up to $30,000, up to $30,000 from the CES program. But some of these same people have some of the worst things to say about the government. There are some workers who got regularized, who are now permanent in their position. Permanent in their position. And you speak to them, some of them, they have some of the worst things to say about the government. They would still support the party and the oppressor who kept them acting for all these years, who placed some of them on contract for all these years. And you can see there are some farmers who received assistance, and they tell you straight up they're supporting NNP, even if they got the assistance. After Hurricane Ivan, they never got that kind of assistance and that kind of injection of millions and millions of dollars in the hands of farmers, in kind or cash. No, they never got that. This government did it. This government did it. And we can go on and on and on. The minimum wage order, NNP, when they were there, they never did anything to adjust the minimum wage. Never. So that security officers will get more. So that housekeepers will get more. So that geriatric care givers will get more. So that Imani trainees will get more. So that workers in the Indian stores and the Syrian stores will get more. So that the cleaners and so on, across the board, they would get more. The clerical assistants and so on, they will get more. Right? But there are people who got their salaries to increase. They saw the increase in their salaries and so on. And they still tell you they're voting for NNP. And they still tell you they're not supporting this government and so on. I met a security officer some months ago, right? And he's a bad NNP talking. And I said to him, but when NNP was in power, you were getting $4 per hour. Now you're getting $9.25. And the man still strong out there for NNP. You understand the point? I hope you understand what I am saying. So I'm saying all of this to say to you that the opposition will only oppose and criticize and condemn because they believe that is the easier way to get back into power. They're not going to commend the government for Project Pristine, cleaning up Karaku. No. And they're going to remain silent with the utterances of a guy who went to the General Council, right? Threatening the peace and stability of Karaku. That is how they operate. So they would not come out openly and applaud the government for nothing whatsoever. They would not. They're quick to criticize. They're quick to condemn. They're quick to call programs and say all kind of bad things about our country and about the government and about our beloved prime minister and so on. That is the reality. You see, Camohon Park is now given more lands. We have more lands for Camohon Park. Camohon Park is being expanded. 5 acres more green space on Grandans Beach. We got back the lands that Radisson sits on. You remember it was given to some Formula One driver because they say he would promote and advertise Grenada. Yeah, we got it back. The lands where Flamboyant Hotel once stood, right? We got back that in our name and the property for very little through good negotiation on the part of our beloved Prime Minister. You understand the point? And we avoided all this legal costs and the possibility of paying 100 and something million US to the developer and so on. So we avoided all of that. But I am telling you all of this to say that the opposition team, the opposition forces, they would always oppose. They would always criticize and condemn. They don't want good for Grenada because they believe if good things happen for Grenada, their chances of coming back in power will be very slim. It will be very hard for them. So all they do is oppose, criticize, condemn. And they know there are a lot of Grenadians who would run for what they're saying, who would accept the nonsense that they're saying. They know that. They're fully aware of that. But I am happy that we have Grenadians who are conscious-minded. I am happy we have Grenadians who are sober-minded, who are logical in their thinking, who want good for Grenada. They want good for Grenada, Carriacou, and the PT Martinique. And that is why they support this government. That is why they encourage this government. That is why they defend this government. They want good for this place. Because they know if things are good, then our people would have a better standard of living. You know, this morning, I went online and I saw two NNP pundits saying, well, if Donald Trump could be voted back in power, return back in power in the United States at 78 or 79 years, somewhere around there. Well, Keith Mitchell, who will be sometime this week, today's the 6th, today's Wednesday, 6th, 6 and 6 and 1, right? So 6 and 6, so 6 more days, right? So Keith Mitchell in 6 more days would be 77 years of age. So they're saying, well, if Donald Trump could return at 70 something years, then Keith Mitchell, that is what they're actually saying. They're saying, well, Keith Mitchell stands a chance, right? The guy, just as Donald Trump, he could still come back and still be this and still be that, all right? So there are NNP pundits who are getting an orgasm over the fact that Donald Trump, who's an old guy, who seemed to be losing his bearing, his mental cognitivity is not as smooth as, he seems as though he's not, what he used to be. And between now and the election, in 4 years' time, we don't know what would happen. All right? We've seen the same thing with the royal family in the United Kingdom. You're not going to remain young forever. All right? And as you age, things come on. Things do happen. So they're getting a orgasm over the fact that Donald Trump is back and he's 70-something years, 78 years, going on to 79 or whatever. And Keith is 70, he will be taking 77. And by the election time, we have 3 more years, let's say, 70, he will be about 80. They're still thinking that this guy could come back, right? And that is the thinking that these people have. And then they're saying, well, Emlyn Pear doesn't stand a chance because look at the United States, they rejected the woman, Kamala Harris. So they don't want the woman to rule. And so, you see the point? So you're having all that kind of conversation taking place. But I am saying all the different demographics who benefited significantly from this government. Check it out. You have schools being refurbished and built from scratch. You have community centers refurbished and retrofitted. You have medical stations and clinics and so on being refurbished and upgraded. You have parks being built. You have so many things happening for our people in this country. But it still goes to show, because as you go throughout the country, you realize that Grenada is still polarized. Grenada is divided because of years of divisive politics, tribal politics. Some people only sees their party and not the country. They could care less. They could care less. There are some people like that. All they see is their party, right? It is still tribal. And that is why it is so important to identify your numbers, the amount of people you need in your constituency to win. You have to identify that. The days of desk canvassing is over. That's outdated. When you have a new team of people in power, fresh, new, they would make new conversions. They would get people who used to be this and used to be that to support them. And when you're in power, you may impact a number of people positively. Positively. All right? Just saying that to say to you. Positively. You got to think about it. All right? So it is clear, very, very clear, that the desk canvassing is not ideal, but instead, the field canvassing is what is important. Some people may say, well, let's do the desk canvassing first, and then let's do the field canvassing. But with a new team of people at the helm, you need to do the field canvassing to know for certain who support you and who doesn't. All right? That is important. Very, very important. You have to know your support base because you will never be a hero. You will never get everybody to vote for you and to support you. But if you can just get the amount, the number, the amount you need to win, then you will always win. And you have to take care of that block, that amount of people. So you know you need out of 4,000, 2,001 or 2,100, you take care of that 2,100 throughout the period. And you still have time. We still have a lot of time to go to these people, find out their needs, find out their wants, see how you can help them, follow up, create a database, work with them. So on election day, you can just pick them up. You can just pick them up, bring them to vote, and you get the results that you want. You cannot have that mindset that you're a hero. All right? You're not Superman. You're not Superwoman, or how you call that one? Ladybug. You're not a superhero. You're not going to save your whole constituency. You're not going to get everybody in your constituency to vote for you. But if you can just get the number of people, the number of registered voters to support you from now to the election, you're going to win. No matter what people say, no matter what people do, you're going to win. This is simple. You cannot be a hero. And we need to learn as we move along. Joan Webley taught the NNP that during their time, that all you need to do is to get the amount that you need to win the election with. Support them, find out if they need some material assistance, some windows, some doors, find out if they need a piece of road, find out if they need a piece of drain, find out if they need some scholarship, find out if they need to be in this or that program, find out if they need that assistance, and so, things like that. Just find out. And once you take care of them there, and especially those who are NDC, who support NDC for all the years, once you're able to identify them and you can keep them, and those who change to supporting you, then you add them to what you have and you maintain that block. That's what you need. Very important. You cannot be a hero. You will not get everybody to support you. Just get the numbers required. And don't worry what NNP would say. They would always complain. They would always complain. That would never change. NNP, their supporters, they get roadwork or they didn't get roadwork, they would still complain. Right? They get material assistance or not, they would still complain. And they will still vote for their party. They get all kind of assistance, they would still complain. So what you need to do is to focus on your people and make sure that your people get one or two little things. Make sure that you identify your people through the course. So you go in the field, you identify your people, and you take it from there. When the election time comes around, it will be a given. You could already set up your stage from 11 o'clock. You cannot get some of these NNP people on your side because when stupid season comes around, they would never vote for you. By the time they go and they see the ballot paper and they see the house on it, that's where they go in. Yeah, and make it even worse when they wear that green jersey. Man, you're joking. It's like a zombie take them, yes? In my belief, I am simply saying it is a numbers game. You focus on your people, on your support within your constituency. You identify them. You go out there in the field and you identify these people. We are in 2024. Desk canvassing is a lazy format, a lazy way of believing that you win or that you have the numbers. It is a lazy way. And it's almost inaccurate all the time. Every time. Always inaccurate by far, far, far. Leaps and bounds. But when you go out in the field, you knock on doors, you speak to people, you engage people, and you get to know what's going down, then you know whether that person supports you or not. Field canvassing. You can't go wrong with that. All the polls stand polls and polls. When this guy came out with this poll and the New Today newspaper had it on the front page, I just laugh. I just laugh. You just look at the United States, for example, all the polls and polls and polls and polls, waste of time. Waste of time. All right? Waste of time. You wake up, Donald Trump, president-elect. These polls and them, they mean nothing. They're as good as the thing that you flushed this morning down the toilet. And these polls, as many of them, they want a walk. They want money. They want you to give them money to do all these polls. That's what they want. Thousands of dollars and to do this and do that. Ask them, what is the sample size? Who did they speak to? Are they on the ground? Did they call people up? How many people? You know, just opinion and opinion and opinion. All these polls could kill you. Look at the amount of people this morning. High blood pressure, high this, high that in the United States. Yeah, plenty people like that. But you have to calm down. Calm down. Do what you got to do. Right? You have to do what you got to do. So, folks, I want to thank you very much for being a part of the program. I want to wish you all the best. I mean, for me, I wake up pretty okay this morning because for months, I stopped following this American politics. Months and months and months and months. All right? I don't even look at it. The CNN and the Fox and the MSNBC and the, all of them, the ABC and the, I'm not interested in that. All right? Who win. That was my belief. And I didn't lose any sleep over this thing. Strangely. If there's election in the region, then maybe I would follow it. But outside there, no. So folks, have a wonderful day. Take good care. Be good. I'll be back with you tonight in the hub again to continue the journey, starting from 8 in the PM. Have